Okay, good afternoon. You're on to Mamu with Jarvis, and we are having our grade 9 experience in arithmetic. Today, we'll be considering something called compound interest. Compound interest. It will interest you to note, by way of making a very funny rhyme here, it would interest you to note that when we mention interest, we have two major types. Interest can either be simple, which is something you're already used to from your primary school knowledge, up until your JS3, which is your grade 8, and to now handle something more, well, I can upgrade on that, called compound interest. So, to commence this topic of compound interest, we need to understand first of all, what is an interest? An interest is any extra amount or extra money you make on an original amount. An interest is anything extra you make on an initial amount. So from our grade 8, we would say that interest is equal to the original amount, which is called your principal. Or better still, maybe we can remove that, we'll rephrase that to this. The amount is equal to your principal plus your interest. This is an aspect of mathematics we call commercial arithmetic. And commercial arithmetic essentially talks about money making arithmetic. So here we make money. Those in the financial sector would love and enjoy this aspect of mathematics. So it means that the interest will be dependent on a few factors. How much you are investing, which is called your principal, the time you are spending, and the rates of the rate tied to it. The principal, the time, and the rates. So if we say the interest is simple or straightforward, we still use the same letter I, it would mean that we are concerned with what is the principal times the rates times the time over 100. The reason why we divide, when we say principal times time times rate, principal times rate times time over 100, is because the rate has been given to us in what? Percentage. If the rate is given to you in decimal, then we would expect you to say PRT straight away. So let's have added note to that. So I will say where R is a percentage. I also add and say that what? The interest is equal to PRT, where R is a decimal fraction. So if R is a decimal fraction, sometimes remember that from your early experience in grade 7 or even in grade 8, we taught you how to convert a number. There was a specific topic we treated: fractions, decimal, and what? Percentages. You discover that we can convert a percentage to a decimal. That's not what we are treating here, but just to help you remember, because I foresee examiners moving away from just setting rates as percentage, and they may give you as a decimal. So if you now say PRT over 100, you would fail that question. So understand that the reason we are saying PRT is because what? Rate is given as what? In what? Percentage. Alright, so having said that, because that's not what we're going to rest on, but it's important by way of remembering what we've done, we're going to look at some simple examples under simple interest. So we'll take that class activity. And at this point, I would say our class activity will be drawn from two major textbooks. our essential mathematics, which is my Mammo official text for this work I'm doing, and then our new general mathematics, which happen to be what a lot of schools use for the extending or stretching our mathematics understanding. So I'll take mine now, and I will go to exercise 11A, which happens to be on page 105 of your new general mathematics if you're using that, JS3. The first question there says what? It says that the principal is 30,000. The rate is what? The rate is 8%, and the time is 10 years. I think 4 years. This is a question given to you. Now, straight away, because there's a formula for it, and it requires a very straightforward approach, what we expect you to do straight away is to say what? I. In this context, I means what? Simple interest. So straight away we simply say what? 30,000 times 8 times 4 divided by what? 100. Now, we simply do what? Cancel out. 0 will cancel this 0, and this 0 will cancel this 0. So we're left with what? I always advise you, good, 300 times 8 times 4. I always advise you to write out what you have so that you see it clearly for purpose of clarity. Now the next thing you do is this. I'm seeing 2 zeros, and I already know from my earlier knowledge of maths that when 0 multiplies any number, that number becomes what? 0. So I just put the 2 zeros there, and I know that I will bother myself on saying 3 times 8, which is what? 24, and 24 times 4 will give me what? 96. Here's an added thing here. I will just simply say 24 times 4 on my book to help me get out the answer quickly, and that will be what? 6, a carry of 1, 8 plus that carry, and that gives me what? 96. So that will give me 9,600 as my interest. I trust a number of us got that question. Yes. All right, that's fine. So that will be for question number 1, and then we'll go on to take maybe 2 or more other questions, and then we're done with this part. So in question number 2, we are required to find the simple interest given that the amount, the principal, sorry about that, the principal is 16,000. The number of years is what? 3.5, and the percentage is what? 6%. So very straightforward. Just say I equal to the principal is what? Just write this. The reason you are writing this is to help you remember what you're doing. In exams, you may not put this, we just go straight ahead to work, but the formula is known to all. Now this one, what's the next thing you do? The principal times the rate, you write the rate first, times the time, which is 3.5 years, all over 100. The next thing my examiner will expect me to do is to convert this to what? A proper fraction. Now take note, anytime you're multiplying or dividing in mathematics, we always convert the fractions we're working with. If they're in mixed fraction mode, or rather mixed number mode, we convert them to what? A proper fraction. Good. So this will give me, now there's something I can do here. I can cancel out first. Please, there's no particular way of solving problems. You can actually cancel this one first, because remember that your objective is to make life simple for you. So I advise you cancel that one first. Coming to grade 9, I'll be varying my technique, because your success is tied to what you can see and what you can do immediately. So you must recognize that you need to do what? Cancel out there. And this will give you 160 times 6 times what? 7 over 2. Notice something now. If I were something like this, the issue of what numerator or denominator will not be a problem anymore, because I've cleared these two out. So with that, I'll use this 2 to cancel what? 6, good, and that's 3. And with this, I'm going to have 160 times 3 times what? 7. In keeping my answer, I'm seeing a 0 here that will not be affected by anything, so I'll put the 0 out first. Then, two options for me. I can say 16 times 21, or I can simply say 16 times 3, which of course will be your better option. 16 times 3 will give me what? 48. So I come to the side of my book, I just say 48 times what? 7. What does that give you? 8 times 7 will give me what? 6. 56, a carry of 5. 4 times 7 will give me what? 28. 28 plus 5 will give me what? 33. Please confirm that for me. And then I transfer that here. That will be my answer. 3,360 naira will be my interest, or my simple interest. Alright. Now, looking at this question, the first real fear any average student will experience is 6 years and 8 months. But my teacher has never given me this thing in what? Years and months before. Is that not? So I will pick that one out. This is where I have a little confusion. That is the time. Is that not? The time here is what? 6 years and what? 8 months. But you remember from your primary school, how many months are there in 1 year? 12. So in converting all of these to years, I will have 6, what? 8 over 12 years. It's just a simple primary school idea. Just a simple idea. So where I have 8 months now, I'm going to now make it what? 8 over 12. Because 12 months make 1 year. 8 months refer to a period that is less than 1 year. So what fraction, if you remember that topic, what fraction of 1 year is 8 months? It will be what? 8 over 12. Alright, so we'll reduce to the lowest term. 4 go here to 4 go here to 3. So that will be what? 6, 2 over 3 years. So that's the first real challenge we need to take care of. With that said, I'll just come simply to this part. My interest will be equal to what? Principal times rate times time, which will be what? 131.7 times 6 whole number 2 over 3 times what? 4 number 1 over 2. You discover that here, everything divided by what? 100. You can discover that here, it's different from all the ones we have been doing. So here is a trick you need to use to handle this. This will be 131.7 times 3 times 6 will give me what? 18. Plus 2 will give me what? 20. That will be 20 over 3 times 4 times 2 will give me what? 8. Plus 1 will give me what? 9. And that will be 9 over 2. Where will I put this 100? I'll just put this 100. I'll just now roll everything over and put my 100 here. Because, let me give you a little trick as you solve this problem. Keep in mind that this is a denominator, this is a denominator, and this is a denominator. Come again. This is a denominator, and this is a denominator, and this is also a denominator. Is that clear? Alright, so with that said, I can now do what? Cancel out. And in cancelling out, I start with the zeros. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing what I've done? Are we watching? 0 will cancel with 0. The next thing I do is to cancel the 2's. Now, if you feel your work is becoming too clumsy for you, now rewrite it out. Please, not every one of us can see complex things very well. So with that, I cannot cancel with 3. And what does that give you? That will give you 131.7 times 3 divided by 10. Now, be very careful how you cancel 10. Because it is easier, 10 means move decimal places. So what I'll do at this point is to come to a part of my book and take this. I do that out. I and that will give me 1, a carry of 2. 1 times 3 will give me what? 3 plus 2, that will give me 5. And 3 times 3 will give me what? 9. And then 3 times 1 will give me what? 3. So that will be 395.1. So I'll come here, I'll write 395.1 divided by 10. Divided by 10 means move leftwards. Divided by 10 means what? Move leftwards. But multiplying by 10 means what? Moves rightwards or move forward. I like that. Move what? Forward. So divided by 10 means if you're not moving forward, what are you doing? You're moving backwards. But you're moving forward or backwards must be from your decimal points. So from this point, what do? You go back. And then your answer becomes what? In Naira. 39 Naira 51. That solves that one. That's what your interest is going to be. Alright, so let's take care of that.